I would say to you, however, for legitimate fight purposes, Gervonta Davis to me is the #1 attraction in boxing. He's the #1 attraction in boxing. He will.
Sports commentator Stephen A. Smith recently made headlines when he said Tank's power is so overwhelming that he could knock out Stevenson in the very first round.
That you could lean on the ropes and ultimately counter Tank. No. Ladies and gentlemen, you do not do that to Gervonta Tank Davis. If you got the power.
I haven't seen you this hyped in a long time.
Listen, Gervonta Davis is the real deal.
I'm surprised you weren't
You
out
got to
there.
be in the middle of the ring.
Yep.
Or in the rope. If you're going to be on the ropes, you want to be in the middle. You don't want to be in one of the corners. Not against
I
Tank,
just want you to know
Not against Tank. That's what Tank did. We talk about wobble. You ain't never wobbled me. And walked right across the ring. I'm not talking about round 2, 3, 4, whatever. I'm talking about opening bell. He walked right across the ring and said, I'm right here.
Backing him up promoter Eddie Hearn said Shakur Stevenson would rely on IQ and defense against Gervonta Davis dominating with precision, but one shot from Tank could change everything.
I don't know how good the fight will be, but I think Shakur is, again, like pound for pound, IQ-wise, I think he's even up there with a Terrence and those kind of guys. You know, I think the difference with Boots is he's got the defensive mastercraft and he also has the aggressive power to turn your lights out, and I think that's quite different. Do you know what I mean? Like Shakur, I say defensive. I think that's a bit harsh on Shakur, but he's not a huge puncher, but defensively and skill-wise, he's right up there.
He's a real technical.
Roy Jones Jr., a former professional boxer, said Shakur held the edge due to his discipline, but noted Gervonta Davis had the natural ability to beat him.
Shakur wins it because of his discipline. Because he showed against Teofimo that he stayed very disciplined all night. And he's the type of guy, he don't really do a lot of crazy stuff in his life normally. So it's like discipline is a thing that is not only exercised inside the ring, it's exercised also outside the ring. And as we see, sometimes Gervonta has problems with discipline. But we have never seen Shakur have problems with discipline. We've seen him be more disciplined at the right time than we've seen him not have discipline. So with the fight being like it is right now, I would lean towards Shakur because of his discipline, but don't get it twisted. If somebody could.
Tank can fight better than most people think. He can, it's just that sometimes his outside antics.
But Tank is disciplined and got his mind on right. Tank is a problem for anybody. Tank can fight better than most people think he can. It's just that sometimes his outside antics get the better of him and it make people think less of him, but don't underestimate Tank Davis. Tank is motivated.
Makes people think less of him, but don't underestimate Tank Davis. If Tank is motivated and ready to fight, Tank is a problem for anybody. Shakur said he was the bigger draw than Gervonta Davis and claimed to win would make him the face of the division.
Everybody's gonna put asses in seats, the views, everybody gonna tune into my fights. If we could act like it was the A side of this fight just because you got the belt.
Yeah.
Let's pretend. Because you got the belt, and I'm coming to challenge you for your belt.
That's what it is right now.
But truthfully, is he the A side?
Like
I'm the bigger fighter, bro.
Popularity.
I'm the guy, bro. Like I'm the guy, and after I beat him, bro, I'm the face, bro. I don't even
Face
hear that
box,
shit from
face.
me. I don't want to hear it from me, bro.
Shakur Stevenson hinted he was stepping into the fight at a completely different level. Confident fans would see a sharper, upgraded version of himself on fight night.
This one of them kind of fights where it's like, I remember people watched me with Jamel Herring, and they felt as though I was the best fighter in the world then. So I think that's going to be what comes Saturday night. I think they're going to get that version of me, but
And now former American professional boxer Jamel Herring pushed back, saying Shakur Stevenson had already proven himself and deserved to be mentioned alongside Gervonta Davis.
But then say Shakur Stevenson ain't do nothing. That's what I'm just speaking as just a fan. You know what I mean? Like Shakur, the three-time, 3-divisional world champion, unified world champion. So, he's done something, you know what I mean? And he's done something enough to where if people are bringing him up to you, it's obviously because people want to see the fight. It's not like they bringing up, a nobody. It's like, or somebody coming up in the rankings. And it's like, what have they done? But it's like, this is somebody who, y'all in the same weight class. Y'all both hold one of the major 4 world titles in the sanctioning bodies.
Coach Kenny Ellis brushed it off, saying fan opinions would always be split between Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. He made it clear that it's just boxing. If the fight happens, it happens. If not, the debate goes on.
I'll deal with that. And you're going to have Gervonta fans and you have Shakur fans. That's the sport.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Don't let it stress you out. This shit is crazy. If they fight, they fight. If they don't, well, they don't,
Shakur Stevenson claimed he had already figured out Gervonta Davis, saying he knew exactly what was coming and believed he operated on a different level. He added that his versatility allowed him to fight any way he wanted, confident he could control the fight on his terms.
The thing is, right, and this is why he's not going to be able to beat me. He got one style that he can do. So I know what he's bringing. I know what he's coming with. He's coming straight ahead at me to throw nonstop punches the entire night. There's nothing different that he's going to do. I'm levels above him because I know that I can do whatever I want. So it depends on what I decide to do that night and how I want to go in there and fight. Sometimes I fight in the pocket. Sometimes I move a little tiny bit, but
Shakur Stevenson made it clear he was chasing the biggest fight in boxing against Gervonta Davis, saying everyone already knew what he wanted. He pushed for the matchup to happen, leaving no doubt about his target. Finally,
what's next? I told you I want the biggest fight in boxing.
Yeah.
Y'all already know what I want, so
Shakur Stevenson said he had always respected both Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney as top fighters over the years. However, Stevenson made it clear that he had always believed he was the best among them. He added that even if they would not say it publicly, deep down they knew it too.
Yeah, I felt like them guys was hell of a fighters. Through the years, I done gave these guys credit. But when it really come down to it, I always knew I'm the one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I always knew. And I feel like deep down, like, they probably won't say it.
Shakur Stevenson made it clear he was ready to face Gervonta Davis, saying if there was any issue, they should settle it in the ring. He challenged Davis to sign the contract and step under the bright lights in front of millions.
If any fighter have an issue with me, because I feel like Tio was jealous of me.
Mm-hmm.
I told him this several times. Any fighter have any issue with me,
Let's do it.
sign the contract, turn the lights on bright, let millions come around the seats to see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Timothy Bradley highlighted the criticism around Gervonta Davis, noting that many questioned his resume and the level of opponents he had faced. He questioned how much credit Shakur Stevenson would really get for beating Davis, suggesting the reward might be more about money than recognition.
You already know the perception of Tank by many of the boxing pundits, and it's the fans of boxing. You already know how they feel about Tank Davis when it comes to, I hear people talk about his resume. I hear people talking about, well, he's only one division champion. He really only won one belt. The guys that he's faced, he hasn't faced a top tier elite fighter, so on and so forth. So with that being said, why even want to entertain a fight with Tank Davis? I mean, how much credit?
Tim advised Shakur Stevenson to stop chasing Gervonta Davis, saying it risked making him look desperate. He stressed Stevenson had too much skill and value to the sport to keep pushing for one fight warning. It could hurt his image and bargaining power.
Leave Tank alone, man, for real. No need to keep beating on a dead horse, man. You too skilled. You got too much value for the sport. You got too much value for, the sport of boxing and your career, man. And, it just doesn't look right. You chasing a guy. You call him out once, maybe twice, but then after that, bro, like, hey, let it go. Let it go. Now you looking desperate. Now you looking like you need him. And on top of that, you putting a price tag if you were to fight.
Moreover, former professional football tight end Shannon Sharp said Gervonta Davis was the biggest money and legacy fight for Shakur Stevenson, while Chad Johnson added that Lamont Roach Jr. would be the more technical chess match. Stevenson agreed, calling Roach underrated, and even suggesting he had done enough to beat Davis despite the missed knockdown call.
So not only will that help cement your legacy at the lightweight division, I think that's the fight, Shakur, that's going to pay you the most money.
I think Tank is the money fight, but the fight that would interest me the most, the one I think would be the best chess match, would be Brother Roach.
I think that Lamont is very underrated. I'm glad because a lot of people don't realize how good he really is.
You know, a lot of people think that Lamont actually beat Tank in that fight. What do you think?
I do. I think Lamont won. I think Lamont won 7-5, 8-4, even without the
Shakur said Gervonta Davis, Lamont Roach Jr., and Andy Cruz were the most competitive fights at lightweight. He made it clear he preferred facing the best and most challenging opponents. For Stevenson, those matchups represented the highest level of competition in the division.
Lamont, lightweight. I like Andy Cruz. I'm a competitor. So I like the best fights and most competitive fights. So I think them guys is more so the...
Shakur said his relationship with Gervonta Davis changed once he became a real threat, claiming the respect turned into tension as his name grew. He explained that Davis began taking subtle shots publicly, which he felt was unnecessary, adding that it seemed like Davis did not want anyone else rising to his level.
He was showing a lot of love, and then once I became a threat is where like everything switched over. Once like people started talking about me and my name started getting bigger, then it was like I'll go fight and I'll get on Twitter and he'll like post, oh, he did that because it was a cab driver, or he'll just post some like hating ass shit to where like it was unnecessary to go do that. Cause like I thought we was like cool type shit. But now he like flipped it to turn it like I did something to him and he made it so believe that. But nah, that just, I think like in his brain it's just one person and nobody else could be up here too.
Back to Roy Jones Jr., who praised Shakur Stevenson as a highly skilled fighter with strong footwork, but pointed out he sometimes moved too far out of range, limiting his ability to counter effectively. He explained this was noticeable against punchers and added that it could make Stevenson's fights look less exciting to fans.
Shakur Stevenson is a very good fighter, but you got to learn, and I will hope he will pay attention to this because this is going to mean a lot for him. His feet are good, but sometimes they take him too far out of range to be able to come back and counter. The last guy he fought, the guy was a good puncher, so when he was jumping back, he was jumping too far back out of range to where he couldn't come back and get something right away. You understand me? And for the fans, it starts to look bored.
Jones agreed that Gervonta Davis showed elite discipline, patiently setting up his punches with precision and timing. He explained that Davis read openings carefully before committing striking only when he was certain. Jones described him as a chess player in the ring, thinking several steps ahead. He added that this calculated approach made Davis one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing.
Of course I agree with that because he shows discipline. Discipline enough to have, he got enough shock on his punch, but he knows how to set the punch up before he does it. He's patient enough to set it up before he does it. He looks at it a few times to make sure he got it. When you know he got it, boom, he get it. That's a real chess player in the boxing ring. That's the most deadly kind of guy in the world besides a Mike Tyson type guy in boxing. A guy that can play chess in that boxing ring is a...
Stevenson reflected on that fight by emphasizing the importance of discipline and pacing in the ring. He pointed out that unlike Frank Martin, a fighter cannot waste energy early or get drawn into unnecessary exchanges because once fatigue sets in, a powerful opponent like Gervonta Davis will capitalize. Shakur highlighted staying calm, sticking to a smart game plan, and controlling distance as key to surviving and potentially winning against someone with Tank's knockout power.
Professional versus an amateur. Frank Martin lost the fight in round one. When Tank walked out and made him do exactly what he wanted him to do, he lost the fight. Frank went out there and just wasted a lot of energy in the first 3 or 4 rounds. And by round 5, round 6, especially with the weight problems that he was having, he got tired And once he got tired, his ball game tanked.
Come on. Both sides. Okay, 2J. That's it. 1, 2, big boy. No hook here. Let's get it. Come on. Roll. Yeah, get out of there. But again, huh? Right hand, left hand hooks. That's the judge. No, 1, 2, hold on. Now hold. Woo, 1, 2, hold on. 1, 2, 3.
As the fight approaches, his camp becomes even more focused and dangerous.
Roll hook. Roll. 6 again. Roll hook. Roll left hand. Roll. Step out. 5 this again. There you go. Under. That's it. What's that top one? Roll. Roll. Ha, there.
Sparring in this camp would simulate Tank's explosive style with high If the rumored fight between Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson
got tired, his whole game changed. Tank lined him up and got rid of him. Gervonta Davis's training camp is built around explosive power and precision, with every session focused on delivering fight-ending punches. He spends long hours on the heavy bag amid sharpening his timing and making sure each combination is fast, accurate, and dangerous.